my administration is recommending that all Americans, including the young and healthy, work to engage in schooling from home when possible, avoid gathering in groups of more than 10 people, avoid discretionary travel, and avoid eating and drinking at bars, restaurants, and public food courts. If everyone makes this change or these critical changes and sacrifices now, we will rally together as one nation, and we will defeat the virus.
A dramatic shift in tone from President Trump yesterday as the White House releases new guidelines for the nation to combat the coronavirus. Good morning and welcome to Morning Joe. It is Tuesday, March 17th. Along with Joe, Willie, and me, we have national security expert, columnist at USA Today, and author of the book, The Death of Expertise, Tom Nichols. Historian, author of The Soul of America, and Rogers Professor of the Presidency at Vanderbilt, Jon Meacham. He's an NBC News and MSNBC contributor. This morning, the U.S. is inching closer to a coronavirus shutdown as state and local officials take the lead in responding to the national crisis. 7 million residents in the San Francisco Bay Area have been ordered to shelter in place, only allowed to leave their homes for essential reasons. It's the nation's strictest measures so far, seen only in places like Italy, France, and Spain, where the virus has exploded. The states of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut have also launched an unprecedented joint effort to close all gyms, movie theaters, casinos, bars, and restaurants, with the exception of takeout. Businesses offering non-essential services will be shut down by 8 p.m., with grocery stores, pharmacies, and gas stations excluded. Citing a failure at the federal level, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says it's now incumbent on states to step up.
The federal government should put one position in place and coordinate it with the states. We have set a template where our regional states work together. We are adopting the same policies. So there is no benefit to try to shop New York versus Connecticut versus New Jersey. You can't have one state taking actions that are different than other states. This is a national pandemic, and there are no national rules.
So, it almost was a tale of 2 days.
Yeah.
The first half of the day was focused on states taking a lot of these actions. There were news reports that the White House wasn't leading. But then, Mika, Donald Trump held a press conference with his team around 3:30. And
boy, did everything change.
It was a remarkable change. As far as the focus of the federal government, the focus of the coronavirus task force, and most specifically, the focus of Donald Trump.
President Trump was markedly more somber and serious at the briefing yesterday, in which the White House issued new guidelines aimed at stemming the spread of the illness. Trump warned the outbreak could last months and drive the U.S. into an economic recession.
A lot of people are concerned about how long all of this might last. Do you have any kind of estimate that if Americans really were to band together and do what the White House is suggesting, how quickly you could turn this corner?
My favorite question, I ask it all the time. How many times, Anthony? I think I ask him that question every day, and I speak to Deborah, I speak to a lot of them. I get the opinion. So it seems to me that if we do a really good job, we'll not only hold the death down to a level that is much lower than the other way, had we not done a good job. But people are talking about July, August, something like that. So it could be right in that period of time where it washes through. Other people don't like that term, but where it washes through.
So is this the new normal until the height of the summer?
We'll see what happens, but they think August, could be July, could be longer than that. But I've asked that question many, many times.
The stock market took another hit today. Is the U.S. economy heading into a recession?
Well, it may be. We're not thinking in terms of recession. We're thinking in terms of the virus. Once we stop, I think there's a tremendous pent-up demand, both in terms of the stock market and in terms of the economy. And once this goes away, once it goes through and we're done with it, I think you're going to see a tremendous surge. You look at what's happening in other countries. Italy's having a very hard time. But I think that what we do, and I've spoken actually with my son, he says, how bad is this? It's bad. It's bad. But we're going to be hopefully a best case, not a worst case, and that's what we're working for.
So Willie, while this press conference was going on, I got phone calls from several people saying, who is that man at the press conference? The president.
What did they hear?
The president was sober. He did what a president's supposed to do. He delivered the bad news. There are a couple things that were just I found remarkable, talking about how, yes, we're probably going to go into a recession. Well, yeah, we are, and Americans already know that. The 10 people limit went further than most people in the administration were talking about going, but limiting gatherings to 10 people. Don't go to restaurants. Don't go to bars. Don't go out. This was a president even talking about saying to his son, when asked how it was, he said, it's bad. It's bad. Hopefully we can avoid the worst case scenarios and bring this in for a landing and have the best case scenarios. President's doing what at least I have said, and I think a lot of other people have said, he should be doing from the very beginning, and that is tell the truth, give Americans the worst case scenario, they can handle it, and start from there.
Yeah, it's a shame it took him this long to get there, and he reverted back to his old self on Twitter afterward, going after the New York Times and other outlets after saying he thought the media had covered it fairly. But you're right. As I watched that, and a lot of people watched that news briefing yesterday, you wondered, what did the president learn? What new information did he get to sober him up to how serious this is? And we learned actually during that briefing from Dr. Deborah Birx, that there's a British research report put together by a group of scientists that really woke up the people on that stage, but particularly the president of the United States, to how long this could be and how bad it potentially could be if we don't take dramatic steps right now.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.